the first thing we have to do is determine the totality of it. If you have a tornado, you have a bombing, you've got to look at the large scale. So what we say is we don't want to be moth to flame. We want to be able to see big picture. So one of the first things we do in a large scale crisis, we got to determine how broad is this? How big is it? What are we actually dealing with? The reason we have to do that is that allows us to determine what resources we need to manage the incident. What do we need to do and, to get prepared to manage this? So that's one of the first things that we do when we arrive on a scene is, okay, how big is this? What is it going to take to manage it? And then we do what we call the incident command system. And that's where we start plugging in resources to manage the incident. When you think about the Murrah bombing, it's been 25 years ago, but a lot of people may not know the type of response that was there. There was over 200 different local, state, and federal resources on site. So there was a lot of different people working together. When you think about that, how do you describe the role? It's we have to come together, and how we come together is the incident command system. We plug in different positions so we can work together. They call it under a unified command structure. So that would be whoever has primary responsibility for the structure or whatever you're dealing with. So if you have law enforcement, you have firefighters, you have emergency medical technicians or EMTs, EMS providers, you might have the FBI, you have a lot. Whoever has a major role in that would come together in a unified command structure. And then you work out your different crisis management teams of whatever aspects you need. This is the part when you think about your community and what it means to you. When I think of the Murrah bombing, I worked there 11 days. And when I think Oklahomans, they're the salt of the earth. I mean, I'm an Oklahoman, but I say that because I witnessed it firsthand. When we had the bombing, people came in. I mean, if we wanted a pair of socks, they would bring like boxes of socks, or if we needed gloves, it was unbelievable, the response. And it was because people wanted to be involved. People wanted to help. Well, it totally changed and transformed our department. At the time, we didn't have advanced life support units, fire units. We always have responded on emergency medical responses, but we didn't have a paramedic on our different companies. After that, we actually started moving into that area. Currently, we have 34 of our 37 fire stations have advanced life support. We're about to add the last 3, so we'll be full advanced life support at all our fire stations. And that's where we have a paramedic on every engine company that shows up on the scene. At the time, too, we did not train in structural collapse. We had some technical rescue personnel, but, we didn't experience those structural collapse that you would see in other large metropolitan areas. So that changed our perspective in that. And we built what we call our Urban Search and Rescue Task Force. I was fortunate that I got to build that here. It's called OKTF1. Tulsa also has a portion of that, and we work together with our municipalities around each metropolitan area. And we've developed this Urban Search and Rescue Task Force. So it's definitely changed how we respond, how we train, and what we do. It changes your life. For me, it gave me a focus, a passion. When I was a firefighter and responded to that. And I'm still a firefighter, but it was a firefighter rank. When I responded to the Murrah bombing, I just wanted to learn. I knew I wanted to help people. I've always wanted to do that, but I knew there was another way I could help people. And that was learning the technical rescue aspects of how to shore a structure, how to work on a structural collapse. So I just really got involved in that area and really was passionate about it. So I started going to California and Texas and different places. The department sent me, and I was allowed to teach and do that. And it really shaped my career because moving forward, I became a technical rescue driver for our heavy rescue. I became an officer there at that station on that unit as a heavy rescue, on the heavy rescue. I got to move to special operations, and as I said earlier, I got to build the urban search and rescue team. So it really played a big part in my career, being able to do that within our organization and also learn from that and learn from disasters and be able to respond and mitigate those. Really, there's a lot of focus on the response and what we did. I'll tell you, when I say one thing that I really think students should know is the response was with love versus hate. And the reason I say that, the reason the Murrah bombing took place was because of hate. There was someone that didn't have a place to push out their hatred for whatever reason except this, and that they felt that was their only thing that they could do. They wanted to do something to show hatred. And to me, the response was in love. We were there. It was a terrible event. It was horrific, but we were there to restore families. We were there to restore a community. And to me, it showed the response that love will conquer hate. And that's what I got from it. My responsibilities deal with fire safety and education throughout our community. Every day I work with about 900 firefighters. We have approximately 1,000 firefighters that work within the organization. But my job is to basically develop, work with, and implement new processes and ideas to improve what we do within our community. And I work with a great team of firefighters as in my command staff within our department to develop the vision and to move the department forward and try to be progressive and look at ways that we can improve what we're doing for our community. And that's what's great about the fire department. My job changes every day. I have a lot of meetings. I meet with a lot of different people, but we also no days are alike. Just because it's a Monday, it's not always the same thing. So every day I come in the office. I'm one of those that I work out every day. In the fire service, we believe every day is a training day. Every day is a physical fitness day. We have to be in shape to do what we do. Even at my level, even though I'm in the office, I want to be a good representation of our organization. So I work out every day. I come in the office, I have great staff. I try to, see what's going on within the department, check out what we're doing. And then usually I start in meetings. We have a lot of different meetings. But I tell you, the greatest thing about my job is no 2 days are alike. Thought I wanted to be an accountant. When I started looking at it, I just didn't feel that it was something that fulfilled me. So I had some friends that were testing for the fire department. They actually gave me a flyer and said, "Hey, check this out." And it was like a light bulb clicked. I started reading about it. I started researching. I went and looked at a different college and talked to where they had some professional development at this college. And I started looking at it. And when I jumped in with both feet, I just knew this is where I was called to be. It wasn't something from a young child, although as a young child, I grew up down the street from a fire station, and I had an uncle that was a firefighter, but it was nothing at that time that I really felt that call. But after I started doing research and started looking at it, it was just something I knew that's what I wanted to be. And so I jumped in and with both feet, and here I am. Within our department, we do not require college to get hired, but we'll see the majority of the firefighters that we hire have a bachelor's degree. So we see quite a few that are educated, that have a degree of some sort. Now, in my position and what I do as the fire chief, I do have a degree. I have a bachelor's degree, and you'll see a lot of fire chiefs that have a master's or a PhD. And then we also have a professional development program called the Executive Fire Officer Program. That's kind of the higher level that a lot of fire chiefs will go get that training. It's at the National Fire Academy to become a chief officer. Probably the most challenging aspect of our job is just the unknown, because you're dealing on an everyday basis with your society, your community that you're within. There's so many things that change and evolve. The most enjoyable part of my job, though, is the people. We work in a team environment. Everything that when we bring a new recruit in, we tell them it's not about it's not about you, it's about the team. And you have to fit into that team. And I love that about it. I love that we have passionate people. That we have passionate employees, passionate firefighters that want to serve their community. They get excited about their job. And that's what I enjoy the most, is just seeing people succeed and being excited when they do succeed. I would look at this: if anybody has a passion to give back, if anybody has a passion to serve others, look into the field of the fire service. It's such a rewarding field. There is not a day, and I can honestly say this, that I get up that I'm not excited to go to work. There are challenging times when I know I'm going to have to make difficult decisions. I know that things could be challenging, but it is such a rewarding field where you can serve your community, you can serve others, you can work in a team.